Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a little crochet challenge. So if you've been on crochet Instagram, you probably know about the Share the Love challenge that Stacy from Apple Tree Stacy makes and April from the Cozy Bug Eye have created. And I've been challenged to complete the challenge as well. So thank you, Tosha from Crochet by Tosha, for challenging me to go out and find 5 new free Instagram patterns that I've never made before and try them out. So basically, the goal of the challenge is to do just that and create something new and go out of your comfort zone of making the same patterns over and over again, because I'm definitely guilty of that, and just go out there, find some new designers, some new creators, and try out some new patterns. And the best thing is that the two creators of the challenge are actually creating a playlist of all of the YouTube videos that people make about the challenge. So you can just go ahead and watch the playlist when you're feeling uninspired and not sure what to do next. So there will be a ton of new ideas and patterns that you might have never heard of before, with results and everything for you to get inspired to make something new again. So yeah, I accepted the challenge, of course, and I've been going through my Instagram patterns that I have saved for a long time. I picked some out there. I also went through a lot of other people's Instagrams and found some new free patterns that I want to try out. So let's get into the video. Let's start the challenge and make 5 new free Instagram patterns. Okay, so let's get into the first pattern I picked out for this challenge. So it's by a designer I have known for kind of a long time. I have bought some of her patterns before. I even got to pattern test one of her patterns. It's Spreeberry Creative, and she makes a lot of snuggler type animals. My sheep snuggler and my bunny snuggler are both her designs, and I found out that she actually has some free patterns as well on her Instagram. So of course I wanted to try out some of those. And the one I picked out is actually for a stuffed toy. So I've only made her snugglers before, but I picked out this one. I will try and show you on the screen. So it's for Edda the baby duck. And I think this one looks so cute. I will probably just put a picture up here because you will probably not be able to see what's on my screen. So I think that this one looks really adorable. I think it's also like kind of a good size for a plushie. It's not tiny, because I want to go out of my way for this challenge as well and try out some different things. And I don't make a ton of bigger plushies, so I really am happy that I found a bigger plushie I want to try. So let's get right into it. I think it looks pretty simple enough. I've looked through the pattern a little bit. So let me start out and check in with you whenever I have first results to share. Okay, so it's been a little while and I've made the body for the little Edda the duck, and I think it's turning out quite a good size. So this is what it's looking like so far. Kind of looks like a baby ghost right now, but so far it's all been a one piece. So the head and the body is one piece. I added the eyes. I actually took a bigger eye size than she recommends, but I think that this kind of looks more what I like my plushies to look like. I like them to have a little bigger eyes. So I'm actually happy with how it's turning out so far. So now I still need to make the beak, the two wings, the 2 feet, and there's like also a little tail that goes on the back of the little duck. So that is what's coming up for me so far. This has taken me almost half an hour to make. So we will see how long this one actually takes me to complete. But so far I'm really liking the pattern. It's very clear, very structured, which I thought would be because I know her other patterns and they're always like super detailed with lots of background info. So I really appreciate that, and let me keep working on the details for the baby duck and I will check in with you once I have them completed. Okay friends, so it's been a little while and I have made all of the details for my little duck plushie. So let me show you what it's looking like right now. I have the 2 wings right here. I have the 2 feet. We have the tail and the little beak. And when I was holding the details up to the plushie, I can already tell that it's going to look like so cute. Like you can already kind of see that this one will be adorable. So there's actually quite a lot of sewing involved in that pattern, which I'm not like super good at and I usually try to avoid. But I thought to myself that taking on this challenge, I could also challenge myself to make a pattern that actually involves some sewing. So let me get into that and sew on all of the details, and then I will show you the first final plushie of this challenge. Okay, so I have finished the first pattern of this challenge, and I wanted to present you Edda the baby duck. So here she is. She's looking absolutely cute. The only thing I would change in the future is how I sewed on the legs. You can already kind of tell they're like a little messy. That is because I couldn't really decide what I wanted them to look like when sewn on, so I had to like redo the stitches like 3 times until I was decided on the placement. So that is definitely something I would switch up in the future a little bit, but that's not like a fault of the pattern. That is just me not being great at sewing. But I think it still turned out so cute. It also has like the tiniest little tail, which makes it so that Edda can actually sit, so that's awesome. And I think this pattern would be perfect for like a baby gift or something like that, because it's just like very cutesy, very like baby coded. Overall, this took me almost 1.5 hours to make, which is kind of a long time, but it is a bigger plushie with lots of sewing involved, and also I think a lot of the time also went into the placement of the feet. So when I make it again, I could definitely shave off quite a lot of time for like the whole feet placement dilemma. But I really like how she turned out, and I think she will be a great little centerpiece for my fall markets, because she is kind of a decent size, so bigger than a lot of plushies that I usually make. And I really liked trying out this new pattern. I will of course link all of the patterns that I mentioned in this video, or that I make in this video, down below, so check out all of the designers and all of the patterns here. But this was Edda. So let me move on to the next pattern I have already picked out, and we will be using the same color as well, so this mustard yellow. And I'm playing a game of yarn chicken because this is the only amount of this color that I have left. But I found the cutest pattern that is perfect for this color, and it is the Sun Bag Charm. I will put the picture up here, by Sweet Creams Co. So this is very like Jellycat like looking, but Jellycats have been super popular over here. They have been gaining popularity, so I definitely want to stay up with the trends and keep making things that are like trendy. So I've been wanting to try that one out for a little bit, and when I was looking through my patterns, I found this one again. So as I've been wanting to try it out, this is the perfect opportunity for me to finally get started with that. I'm not sure if that will be enough yarn though, so we will see all about that, or if we have to improvise on the colors. But let me start out with this one, and I will check in with you once I have made a dent, or if I run out of the yarn. So we will see what happens first. Okay friends, so I have finished the second pattern for this challenge, and I was working on the little Jellycat inspired sun for a while. So I made the first part of the sun. So this is like the front panel, and then you kind of make the same thing for the back side as well, and you sew them together. But as I said, I was playing yarn chicken, so I ran out of the yellow yarn, or like the mustard color yarn, for this pattern that I was using. So I couldn't finish that and sew them together. So I had a little too little for that to finish it up right now. And this was the rest of this mustard yarn. So I will have to order some more of that to work on that some more and finish that one up. So I will definitely do that pretty soon, so stay tuned for that in a future video. I definitely want to finish that one up. I think it looks pretty cute already, and I'm obsessed with that one, but I couldn't finish it today. But as I was looking for the Jellycat pattern, I found a different kind of Jellycat pattern that I then decided to make instead of the first one. So here is the little amusable cloud that I made instead. So this one is by perfect.crochet. I will leave a link to this pattern in the description down below as well. So here it is. I think it turned out really cute as well. I really like the little smile that was included in the pattern. I think that looks very much like a little Jellycat. And as I said before, these are super popular over here right now. So I definitely wanted to make something trendy, and I feel like I have definitely accomplished that with this little cloud. This one is actually a decent size as well, and I think once I finish up the little sun, they will just look so cute together on like my market table. And yeah, I can't wait to have these two in stock. I might make a couple more of them in the future. I had such a fun time making this one, so definitely want to make some more of those in the future and have them scattered around my table, because I think that definitely a lot of people know what these are and what they're supposed to look like. So I think that these will be popular in the future. This didn't take me a super long time. I think it took me like 40 minutes, but I think for a plushie this size is pretty good. You do have to sew on the little feet, and I actually modified the little feet as well, because the ones in the original pattern are quite big and they have you use a smaller hook, but I only had my regular 4.5 millimeter hook over here, so I decided to make some smaller feet and just modify them slightly, but I think they still turned out pretty good. And you do have to sew those on, but it's literally like 2 stitches across, so not that bad. And the pattern goes from like side to side, which is unusual but definitely makes sense for this little cloud. And yeah, I'm actually so obsessed with it. I can't wait to make another one in the future and like combine them with the sun. And I might do some more research in the future to find some more little like Jellycat looking patterns, because I think that they will do pretty well at my markets in the future. So that was the second pattern. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, so pattern number 3 has been on my saved list on Instagram for such a long time, and this challenge gives me the perfect excuse to finally try it out. And I'm pretty sure you all know the designer of this pattern. It's by Crochet Grove, and it is for her free baby seahorse pattern. I think this one looks so cute. I believe it's no sew. I haven't really read through the pattern, but I just think that this one looks pretty market prep friendly. It's definitely a little more of a unique pattern. I haven't seen a lot of people have it at their markets, so we will see how much I like it for my future markets. And I have already picked out the 2 colors that I want to use. So this medium blue will be the body of the seahorse, and then I have this variegated blue, which also like features the same medium blue tone in there, and I will use that one for the details like the fins and the back fin or something like that. It's actually the same color combination that she has in her picture of the pattern, so I definitely like the combination on there, so I wanted to recreate that. So let me get into the pattern and try it out, and I will check in with you once I have something to show you from this pattern. Okay friends, so I have now finished the third pattern of this challenge. This took me like 45-ish minutes to make, and I have finished the little seahorse. So this is what it looks like from the front and from the side. So this is what he turned out to be. This pattern was quite tricky, to be honest. The first time I made it now, there's like some parts where you need to attach the head separately and then the tail separately, and I think I kind of messed up there because it looks just a little wonky, like it's not all in a straight line. The head is kind of turned a little to the side because I couldn't really figure out the right way to attach it. But now that I've made it once, I think that I could definitely figure that out easier next time, because I now know how this one works. But I still think this one turned out pretty cute. I really like the size. I wasn't expecting it to turn out actually this size. And it's just like a very unique pattern. I've never made anything like it before. I really like that it was no sew. Like you would not expect that when you see a pattern like that, but it's completely no sew. You just crochet a lot of parts together, so that is very fun, very market prep friendly. Like now that I know how all of the parts work together, I think that I could be even quicker with this pattern, and I definitely want to make another one. I have like a pink variegated yarn that I would really like to try out, so like make a pink one with some variegated fins as well. So I might do that tonight and show you tomorrow. But for now, I'm actually happy with how it turned out. I think that this might get picked up at market for me pretty easily as well, because over here we have like a swim badge that kindergartners or like first grade students do for like swimming to prove that they can actually swim. And that is like a seahorse, so you get like a little seahorse badge when you complete that. So it might get picked up at markets when kids have just completed their seahorse little swim badge. So I'm definitely interested to see if that is the case and this one gets picked up at markets. But as I said before, I will be making a pink one tonight. And then tomorrow we can figure out the other two patterns. I have two more picked out to complete the challenge. So I will see you guys tomorrow for pattern 4 and 5. Hey friends, I'm now back at the studio to finish out the challenge. And I'm so sorry if you can hear some background noises. My landlords are doing some renovating upstairs, so I hope it's not like too annoying. But I'm really trying to work on the challenge over the course of the weekend, so I don't really have a choice but to still film the rest of the challenge today. So let's get back into the challenge. So first of all, I wanted to show you what I was working on last night. So as I said, I wanted to make another seahorse, and I did. So I made another little seahorse. This one is obviously pink with some variegated yarn for the fins. And honestly, looking at them, I think I like the blue one a little better because the contrast is just better with the variegated yarn. This one is kind of the same as the base, so there's less contrast, but I still think they both turned out super cute and I can't wait to see how they do at my future markets. So I wanted to make a second one and I did. And then I actually got a head start on pattern number 4, so let's get into that. So for pattern number 4, I'm actually cheating a little bit because I'm not using an Instagram pattern. This one is actually a free YouTube tutorial, which I didn't realize when I first saved a picture of the pattern that the main part of the instructions would be over on YouTube, but still this has intrigued me very much and I really have been wanting to try out this pattern, so I will still include it in the challenge even though technically it is a YouTube tutorial and not an Instagram pattern. But this creator is also on Instagram. It's Coffee and Crochet 01. So I've been following her for a long time and I really like making some of her patterns. I've pattern tested for her before, and when she posted the pictures of Eden the elephant, I was just so intrigued. I will put a picture up here. It looks just so cute and perfect for markets because people are usually looking for smaller items. And I've made an elephant before, but that one was way bigger than this one looks. So I've been wanting to try this one out for a little bit. And last night I had a little bit of time, so I started working on the pattern. And I can definitely tell why it is a YouTube tutorial and not an Instagram pattern because it has you start out with the 4 legs and then attach them to the body. And that would just be super complicated to explain how those two first rounds, when you attach the legs to the body, would work out. That would just be super complicated to explain. But like with a video, it's actually super easy. So I have finished the body for it already. So this is the front where the 2 legs are closer together and then there's like a little space on the side. So this is the completed body. And yes, you do have to sew a little bit for this pattern, which I didn't realize beforehand. I had hoped that it would be a no-sew pattern because she has a ton of no-sew patterns. But this one you do have to sew. So this is the body and then this is the little head with the little trunk. And this one is also better as a video tutorial because she explains to you how you can make it so that the trunk curves upward. So that is so easy as a YouTube tutorial. So now we will have to sew the head onto the body, and then also I have made the 2 little elephant ears already. So we will have to sew those on as well. And then I will need to make a tail. I'm thinking that it will be probably crocheted into the body, but we will see about that. So let me finish up this one. I've made a pretty good dent in that one so far. So I will check in with you once it's finished and show you the end result for this one. Okay, so I have now finished my little elephant and I think he looks so cute. So here is the finished little elephant. And I can definitely see myself making a couple more of him for my fall and winter markets. You do have to sew quite a bit with that, which I usually try to avoid for a lot of my market patterns, but I still think he looks just so cute, and like just a little row of them would look adorable at my stall. So I'm super glad I finally had the perfect excuse to try out this little pattern. So I will link the Instagram post and the YouTube video down below for this one. And I'm definitely going to make a couple more of these in the future, so you will definitely be seeing some more of those in the future. But now let's move on to the fifth and final pattern of this challenge. The final pattern I've picked out for this challenge I have had in my saved list for such a long time, but I never really had the right color to make this pattern in, and recently my yarn brand that I use has come out with a couple more new colors, and of course I had to get all of them, and one of them is the perfect color for this pattern. So here is the color. Can you guess what I am about to make with this one? So the pattern is by Natalie's Crochet Creations on Instagram, and it is for a little alligator. I will put the picture up here again, and I just think this one looks so cute. It looks very easy to make. It's a no-sew pattern, which I always like, and I now have the perfect color in stock, so I've been wanting to try it out for such a long time, so I finally have the chance for that. And I think that this one looks very market prep friendly for now, and just like a little more boy coded. Yeah, I can't wait to try this out right now, so I will check in with you once I have something to say or once I have finished the pattern, and of course I will show you the results. Okay friends, so I have now finished the final pattern for the challenge, and here is the little alligator. This is what he looks like. I think the turnout is super cute. The pattern was slightly challenging because it's all like on one page and not like a lot of explanation for some of the steps, especially the start of the head and then also for the feet. I also had to adjust to my tension a little bit and place the feet somewhere else than the pattern said, but that is usually the case for lots of these patterns, that you have to adjust to your own tension and yarn weight. But overall, I really like how this one turned out. It was super easy to make, like it's all one piece, and I think that he will find a home pretty quickly. It's such a cute little animal, so I'm super happy that I tried this one out as well, and this is like the perfect alligator color. So I will definitely need to order some more of that when I go ahead and order my yarn for the little sun that I'm still trying to finish. But those were all of the patterns for my Share Your Love challenge. And let me go through them one more time. So we have the alligator, we have the little elephant, which I think turned out so cute. We have the little seahorses, which I'm really curious to see how they do at my markets in the future because they're just so unique. I have my little Jellycat inspired cloud, which I think is so adorable, especially the little smile. And then we have my little duck, which I think is perfect for a little baby's room or like a first gift or something like that. So I'm super happy with the selection of patterns that I have picked out for my challenge, and as I've been saying, I will link them all down below. And now the final thing for this challenge that is left is for me to nominate somebody else to complete the challenge, and I have picked out a fellow crochet YouTuber, so Sammie, Crochet with Sammie, I'm challenging you to also complete this Share the Love challenge. And if you want to see some more of the little critters, I will of course be sharing over on Instagram as well. So make sure you follow me over there as well. And I thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the end. If you're watching a little later and the playlist with all of the videos about the challenge is already up, I will of course link that down below as well if you're looking for some more suggestions for free patterns. And I will see you guys again next week for another video. So until then, bye!